Hello, Sarah Nation. Welcome to the Feminine CFO live stream. And I am super excited. Today is day one. So if you guys have not joined us at the Feminine CFO Secrets to Shatter Financial Barriers to Lead, Thrive, and Achieve Your Dreams, make sure to grab your link and join us because you will be missing a lot of amazing nuggets and the secrets that each of these speakers are revealing. And this morning we have three speakers, and one of them has joined us today. Her name is Brenda Kiss. And I'm going to, before I get started with her, I want to tell you that it's been amazing. Like the response, and also it's been amazing what these speakers, each of them experts, are sharing with us, because today things are changing rapidly. Each day something new is coming up in the market. AI is exploding literally, and they are taking over. And in some cases, some businesses, or a lot of businesses, actually are going to become affected because of this, and I'm going to be expanding a little bit more of that in a bit. And but again, we need to catch up on all of that. If we resist these things and we try to avoid it, it's going to cut up to us at some point, and it's going to affect us. So again, we want to make sure that we are at the lead and at the trend of technology, that we are at the trend of everything that is happening, so we can actually take advantage of that in order to, again, allow us to get into more abundance, more wealth, if that's what we want, financial freedom, basically achieve all of our goals. So today, Brenda actually shares seven secrets, seven things that could be affecting us in our prosperity, in that is going might be holding us back on expanding our financial abundance. And if you haven't watched that presentation that she shared with us, make sure to join us at the Feminine CFO so you can actually grab this presentation, because it was really, really good. And right now we have Robin and we have Jan here. So I want to make sure that, first of all, I'm gonna reintroduce Brenda here. Thank you so much for being with us, Brenda.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited to be part of this summit because I had my own financial struggles for a very long time, and so to have a place where people are getting answers, are getting tools, they're getting solutions to break that barrier is just invaluable to me. And you know, I needed this 20 years ago.
Don't we all, right?
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Don't we all? But the most important thing is, and this is one thing that I teach my clients, that sometimes we focus so much on our current circumstances that we forget about the possibilities of what can be ahead of us. And the truth is, a lot of women, they have been successful and lost it all, and they have been successful again and lost it all. So the most important thing is not giving up and keep having the tools. Even my mentors and my coaches, they tell me, hey, if I lose everything today, I know I can get back on track. I know I can get back to it because I have the tools and the strategies that I need in order to be able to achieve that. So I want to know if any of you have any questions. Make sure to put it in the comments. Robin, let me see if I can. I don't know if you want to be added to the stream, but if you do and you want to ask any questions directly to Brenda, you're more than welcome. Hi, Robin. Do you have any questions for Brenda or for me regarding this event, regarding what we're teaching today? Let us know. Same thing with Jen. Welcome to the stream. Let us know if you have any questions. But in the meantime, Brenda, so you were sharing seven secrets, seven things that sometimes it stop us from be part of, from that financial abundance that we are all looking for. Can you expand a little bit more on that?
Well, I think that there's a lot of people that I'll speak for myself and the women that I work. Some of the experience that I see when I work with women is that they look to create something in their life, like extra money or the ideal job or um, uh, the ideal situation. And what people miss out on that I see all the time is they plant that seed. You were talking about planning for the future. They plant that seed, but they don't see the results fast enough, or they don't see how it's unfolding, or they're not trusting the process, or they're not getting moving further. Well, they perceive that they're not moving further along in their journey, and they're still looking at all of the problems, all of the things that aren't working, all of the things that aren't shifting, versus the little tiny shifts that are happening, right? And so a lot of I call this the wisher washer, and where people get wishy-washy. They set this goal, they set this intention, and they have this desire, and and then they don't see results, so then they like, oh, I need to switch it, I need to go somewhere else, I need to do something else, this isn't working. And then they switch it, and now the universe takes all the energy that was into this financial goal and switches it over here, and then they start focusing over here, and they don't see the results fast enough, and they get wishy-washy with what they want, and they go back over here, or they go somewhere else, and now the universe is like, how do I support you? I don't know what to do. And so then people think like, oh, it's never going to work out, things aren't going to happen. And so it's staying committed to the outcome. I was just talking to a client today, not about financial stability or breaking the financial barriers, but to me, all of our relationships kind of display what we get to work on. And so her challenge was that she wanted to feel happy every day. She wanted to wake up, feel happy, wake up, feel happy, wake up, feel happy. And I think to myself, everybody wants that, right? But life happens, and there's things that happen, and we get to choose. And she's like, why can't I just be happy all the time? And I'm like, you get to choose. And so what I'm saying is that you get to stay committed to the financial goal you want, stay committed to the barrier you're looking to break, because when you do that, things will start to align. It's when you start to switch what you want, now the universe doesn't know where to support you, and you start back over. So stay committed. That's the biggest tip I can get. I mean, we can talk more, but that's my big tip for this part of the conversation, is stay committed to the outcome so that you can see the energy and everything aligning before you go ahead and switch again.
Yeah, and one thing is that I notice also from a lot of my clients is that they are in constant freeze, fight, flight mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
They feel that something is not working, or that they're in the constant doing. Let's start with that. And I'm guilt of that as well, right? They're in the constant doing. Oh, this is not working, this is not working, so I'm gonna do this, and they try that, and that is not working, that is not working, and then that they try another. Oh, that is not working. And the first thing that I remember that you mentioned in your presentation is change that energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the energy of lack, that things are not working, and just put the energy of that, hey, you know what, it is going to happen. How it's going to happen, we don't know necessarily, but we know it is going to happen, and we put that faith or that energy of abundance and attraction instead of chasing. That
Yes.
actually is the first step to create that difference, right? And I have a question here.
I want to just say something before we go to Robin's question.
Yeah,
It's
go ahead.
creating that energy within you, right? So we're not chasing, it's creating that energy of abundance, of enough, so that you're creating from that space.
Correct.
I've created financial success through hustle, through push energy, through necessity. And every time when I create that, I have to create money the same way. I have to get into like desperation mode to create the money. This is in the past. And so it's learning how to create that abundance in here, and you create money from abundance, and then it stays abundant.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So that is the thing. It's not about, and that's why I call this event the feminine CFO, because when it comes to money, we know that in part money can be masculine.
Mm-hmm.
We stay in that masculine all the time. Yes, we can create money, but it's not sustainable. We're probably gonna feel burnt out.
Yep.
We are going to feel stressed. We are going to feel anxiety and unhappy, right? And if
Yep.
we are looking for attraction and abundance and ease, then we have to tap into our feminine. And our feminine is relaxed. Is again, it's about attraction. It's not about chasing, right? The chase is the masculine. The the attraction is the feminine.
Yep.
So when we have that energy that we are going to attract and that things are going to happen no matter what, that is the first step. That is that energy that is going to allow us to feel financially abundance.
I love it. Yes, so true. And I lived the story you're sharing is creating from that chasing. And if you're creating from chasing, you're going to continue to chase the money for the rest of your life.
Exactly, exactly. So Robin has a question, and it says, "I have not gone through the ebook yet, but how would you say to get clear about what I think financial abundance for myself? I know different from it's different from all, but I'm too general in my thoughts." So she wants to become a little bit more laser and a little bit more specific
Yeah.
about what financial abundance is for her.
So here's a couple questions. Is for you to kind of take take into consideration. So it is different for everybody, and if you say what financial abundance to Sarah and what's financial abundance to me is completely different, and the universe doesn't know what we mean by financial abundance. So you can look at it, how much money do you want every month in your bank account after you pay all of your bills and maybe have your fun, right? Like, so you pay all your bills, you have money for your fun, and you still have this much money in the bank. Maybe financial abundance could be something along the line at the end of the year. I have paid, if you have debt, like I have paid this much off on my debt, and it's creating financial abundance. Or maybe, Sarah, you could speak into this more. Maybe there's assets that you get to invest your money into, and looking at like, okay, I'm taking X amount of dollars at the end of each month, and I'm going to invest it somewhere. So I'm going to place it somewhere to create that financial abundance. So I don't know if based off what I shared, Robin, if there's another question you can ask, but it gets to be specific. So I have a current client right now looking to manifest an extra $5,000 cash in the bank at the end of each month after, and she just quit her career and starting a new career. So I love this, right? Like, and she's in such flow, and all these opportunities are coming into her, and she literally has the ability to say, yes, I'll take that one. No, I don't want that one. Like, she has created abundance in her opportunities, which is just going to create her financial abundance. So, because she had said, I want financial abundance. And I'm like, well, we get to get clear on that. And so for her, it was an extra $5,000 a month after she paid her bills. Like, so she wanted the money to pay her bills plus an extra $5,000 a month. And to her, that's what financial abundance was meaning in this moment in her life. I'm sure it will shift as things change for her.
So one thing that I teach my clients is you have to decide if what you're doing right now is aligned with your priorities and your values. And after Brenda finished with her with our training today, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that.
Mm.
But yes, you have to know if what you're doing right now it is aligned with your priorities and your values. Because if it's not, then you have to find out where is the gap. What is it that you're doing right now that is not aligned with the priorities and your values? And I will talk a little bit more about what I mean by priorities and values. But the other thing about financial abundance is it's not measured necessarily by material possessions, right? Financial freedom, financial abundance is not measured by possessions, right? It is measured by the lifestyle that you want to create for yourself, and we all have a different version of that lifestyle. So if after you pay all your expenses, including your debt, right, and you have passive income coming in, and the money, it keeps coming in even if you're working or not, that is financial freedom at that point. Financial abundance is a little bit different, right? Because financial abundance, it depends on what is your threshold. Is your threshold, if you're used to, for example, to $50,000 a year, and you feel that you will be able to achieve financial abundance with 100,000, that's one thing. But if you're making $500,000 and you feel that your financial abundance is making or receiving $1 million, that will be your threshold, and that's what I call the freedom metric. And I don't know if you guys can see here in my chart here. So I call it the freedom metric or the freedom measurement. So what you can do is, you want to make a list of all your expenses. Okay, that is the first thing, and including your debt, right? The second thing is debt. And of course, you want to compare this to you want to compare this with your income. So, for example, if when you put together all of this, your expenses are $5,000 a month, and then you want to have you want to save money for your investments, passive income, cash flow, sorry, so you can keep growing your money and get set for retirement, for that moment when you don't have to work anymore, that you can decide, hey, today I don't want to work. You are still receiving passive income, and I will talk a little bit more about that Thursday and Friday. But then that $5,000 is what covers your expenses. But then that means that you have to put a little bit more of that $5,000, so you can say, okay, my freedom measurement is 10,000. Now, if your expenses and everything is 10,000, then your freedom metric might be that $20,000, right? And I think she commented something else, Robin.
So you talked about retirement. Do you do short term and long term goals with regards to this, like
Yes,
retirement for long term?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I will be touching on that this week as well. So how to, like, today we are focusing on the energy more than anything. We're focusing on the internal, because when we don't work on, that's the foundation, right? When we don't work with the traumas, the experiences that we have had in the past, that now has changed our belief with money, or that has set the belief that we have around money, and the energy that we're putting in right now, then we're, like, no matter what you're trying to do, if the foundation is not solid, is going to keep affecting you, right? You're gonna keep stepping back because you're not ready, because you are dealing with those. And talking about that, Brenda, can you tell us a little bit about, like, sometimes we are dealing with experiences or traumas that we had in the past, and
Mm.
then when we are trying to deal with certain things in our life, and how to become more abundant, and how to manifest certain things, how sometimes we feel triggered, or sometimes we feel like that we are stuck, right? Like, or that we're trying to do something, but when we're starting to get to that, when we feel the pressure on that glass ceiling that is going to take us to the next level, we decide to, like, get small again and not achieve it. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. Okay, so I think there's a couple things I can speak into around this. One is energy is never created nor destroyed. So if we have our energy stuck in the past, in our past triggers or in past traumas, that means the energy that we have it isn't going to be able to create the abundance, right? So it's like all of our energy is stuck in, or 90% of our energy, or 80%, depending on the person, right? And if that energy is stuck in not liking people, feeling angry, resentful, or like you haven't dealt with some unresolved issues, that is taking up space for your abundance. So the first thing is you got to heal that. You got to kind of work through that and let it go. So now you can redirect that energy into creation. right? And so that's the first thing. The second thing I heard you say is like when you hit that wall, when you know that you're about to do something, but then you shrink back down. And, everything in our life becomes a pattern. The way we think, the way we talk, the way we carry ourselves, the way we dress, the way we eat, everything, our thoughts are patterns. And so one of the best ways is to begin to recognize that pattern when you go into shrinking. And then I always say, lean into, I call that resistance. Like you call it like that wall. Lean into that. Be in the discomfort of it. Be confused about it. Be angry about it. Just lean into it, because on the other side is where you shatter the barriers. It's where you break free. You move through. And I'll say the biggest thing is get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I didn't really know what that meant for a long time. I'm gonna be honest. I hated being uncomfortable, right? Because who wants to be uncomfortable? Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. But that's, after years of doing this type of work, that's where I know the biggest breakthrough is. The moment I start to get uncomfortable or I feel that resistance, that wall, I celebrate it. I'm like, yes, I'm about to have a breakthrough. This is amazing, right? It may not feel amazing, and things might not look amazing, but I know that that's what's happening, because I'm not, in the moment you let that resistance, and you shrink back down, you're just feeding the pattern to hit another wall, to hit that resistance, to create that next thing of discomfort, right? And people do that a lot with like self-sabotage, right? They get so far and then they sabotage themselves. And it's because they're so used to that pattern. So I say lean into it, celebrate it, acknowledge that discomfort.
Yeah, what you resist persists, right? So the first thing that we need to do is, like you said, lean on that resistance and say, why am I resisting this? And realize that, hey, this is what if this is a little bit painful, this is what I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
If I compare it to the gym, right? We go to the gym and physically we can feel certain pain. But when we reach our target, when we reach our goal, it makes everything so much sweeter. So that's exactly the same way when it comes with our internal experiences, right? Because remember that our consciousness is the tip of an iceberg, right? It's
Yes.
that part that is outside that we can see, but the unconscious, that is like that bigger part of an iceberg, that is what is controlling us. And if we don't learn or understand how to shift our subconscious mind and how to train it and release, heal our traumas and release those patterns that we have from the moment that we were born all the way till now, that is what's going to be holding us back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I wanted to start with Brenda and talking about this and the 7 steps to release and achieve that financial abundance, that financial prosperity. Because if we don't know that, if we don't deal with the internal part and our mindset first, that's going to trigger us when we start working with the things that are more physical and that are more on our reality. It's going
Mm-hmm.
to be much harder, right?
So true. So true.
So, Brenda, what do you think will be the first step that the feminine CFO women should take when it comes to that healing or that shifting of their patterns and the things that they need to do in order to start attracting more abundance in their life?
Um, I think there's quite a few steps, but if I were to recommend one thing to do, is forgiveness work. Is really beginning. Forgiveness is the key to freedom, is the key to creating a life you love, creating that financial abundance, your dreams, your reality. Um, and it's anybody. And forgiveness isn't one time. Like it's a never ending cycle. Forgiveness work. But that to me is the biggest shift. And sometimes people have to release stories around what forgiveness looks like, their beliefs and the energy around, like, I don't want to forgive, they hurt me and they don't deserve my energy. And I'm like, okay, so let's work on those stories. But forgiveness is the key to freedom.
Yes, one thing that I have learned is that sometimes we have a lot of stories in our head, or
Hmm.
stories that we have created, right? About why we are so resentful about an experience or somebody. And we have created all of the stories around it. And probably that person doesn't even know
Yeah.
around about it, right? So we have to understand that whatever doesn't make us feel good is a lie. So we have created this all of these stories about how this person hurt me, how this person wasn't there for me, how this person didn't do or did this to me. And we have to start like releasing the energy. And then after that, we have to understand how to forgive ourselves too.
Yes, for sure.
Sometimes we carry a lot of shame, a lot of guilt and embarrassment for decisions that we have made 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And shoulda, coulda, woulda is like a constant in our lives. But we
Hmm.
need to forgive ourselves and move on from that in order to be able to start thriving and start leading our success, because it is on us. We are the ones that can take charge of our life. We are the ones that can take charge of our money and our own freedom and abundance. But if we don't, if we are still living in the past, if we are still carrying those things that I shoulda, coulda, woulda, do this, instead of just forgive yourself and release that, and then change your focus on the past, from the past circumstances or even your current circumstances, to the possibilities, to what it is in front of you that is so possible if you let go of all of the things that are occupying your mind, that are occupying your heart at this moment, and just let them go and move forward to that life of possibilities.
Yes, 100%. It's about letting go of the past, letting go of that energy that's all tied up and all that other stuff, freeing it up and creating 100%.
Yeah. So, Brenda, I know that you had a gift for the audience and the feminine CFO. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that? And then again, make sure that you join us. That way you can grab that gift.
Yeah, so I have a gift. I think I gave away my free ebook. You go
Yes.
to ebook by Brenda, and it's just daily activities to keep your energy elevated so that you're in that attraction energy of where you want to go. And it's almost like you just open up a page, like scroll, it's an ebook. So you would scroll to a page and just read that activity and do that. And these are techniques that I use that I've taught my clients, and it's just ways to feel good. Because when you're in that feel good energy, you attract feel good things.
Yes, absolutely. That is really good. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here with us. I really, again, I really hope that you guys take advantage of all of this information and the strategies and the little nuggets that each speaker are going to be bringing to us. And again, if you have not upgraded to the VIP, make sure you do, because you will be able to ask questions like Robin did today, and be able to participate. Even like if you want me to bring you in, I can, like I definitely will be able to do that as well. So thank you, Brenda, for being here with us. I'm going to continue. I'm going to talk about what I was talking a little bit earlier. Thanks,
Awesome.
Brenda.
Thank you for having me.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Yeah. All right. So again, um, if this is what I call the freedom measurement or the freedom metric, which is where you determine what your income goal is going to be. So you want to make a list of all of your expenses, and including the variable expenses that comes maybe twice a year, every quarter, maybe every year. You want to make sure that you understand how much is that, and including your debt, hopefully the debt that you have has helped you to achieve a lot of things, right? Because the debt, you want it to be with a purpose. And then you want to see how much of your income, one, you know your income, right? The income, you have to be clear about how much income you're bringing in, but you also want money in order to invest, grow your money, right? Use it for other things. And then you want to have just a little bit more. You want to have just a little bit more. So if your freedom metric, in your freedom metric, you determine that you need $10,000, you might want to say to double it to 20,000 and say, okay, that's my freedom metric. Now, I do have to clarify that in order for you to want or really create the energy for that $20,000 a month, you have to give money a purpose, right? It's not just, oh, I just want to have it for to have it. You want to give money a purpose because that is sending a message that, hey, like, this is, I want to do bigger things. I want to create more abundance in my life, more wealth in my life. And that's why, because I'm planning to do this, that, or the other. That's why I need that $20,000. And that's the way to call it in. So the other thing that I was talking a little bit earlier is I was talking about priorities and values. And the reason I talk about that is because a lot of times we are working without that purpose that I was just talking about. We are working and we're not we're living every day almost like zombies. We wake up in the morning, we do our job, we go to bed the next day, we do the same thing without being intentional about what we are going to do with that money, without being intentional about if we are living with our purpose. So make sure that you understand and that you're clear that you are living with that what is your purpose and why are you doing the work that you're doing right now. Are you even happy with what you're doing? If what you're doing right now allowing you to get closer to your dreams. Sometimes we are doing all of this stuff and we're not giving priority to our dreams, so we feel that those dreams, they're just like at a distance, that they get further and further away. But that's where you need to establish what I call, first of all, your vision. Where do you see yourself? What is your purpose? If you don't understand what your vision is, if you don't know exactly, or you're clear about what is it that you want to achieve, where do you want to be in 90 days? Where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in a year? If we are not clear about our vision, then we are not going to be aligned with our priorities and values. So everything that we do has an intention. And the intention, we want to be intentional about the way that we make money, but also about the way we spend our money. Did you catch that? Again, you want to make sure that you are intentional about the way you make your money, but you also want to be intentional about the way you spend your money. So, for example, if you're planning to go to Italy, and your intention or your desire, your priority is to go to Italy, and you are putting money aside in order to go to Italy and be able to have the best vacation of your life up until now, then but then you go to the store and then you start buying all of this stuff without thinking, this is the money that I was going to put towards my trip to Italy. Then you have to realize if what you're doing right now is aligned with your priorities and value. And there's nothing wrong, and I want to clarify that there's nothing wrong on having specific priorities or specific values. A lot of times, our priorities could be our family, or our priorities could be that trip. Our priorities could be build your dream home. Our priorities could be, for a guy, could be like buying tools for mechanic because they enjoy that. We might have a hobby, something that we actually enjoy, like playing the piano. But you have to determine what is that main priority, what is that ultimate goal, and be intentional about how you are spending the money, and if where you're spending the money right now is aligned with your priority, or is even aligned with your values. And I will talk a little bit about debt this week, because sometimes we're thinking, well, yeah, but like all my money is going to debt because now I got into all this debt because I had hardship, or this happened or that happened. I was not expecting, and now I'm in a lot of debt. I'm going to show you a trick or something that is going to allow you to shift your emotions and your point of view about that debt. So hopefully that you accompany me this week so you can actually learn a little bit more about that. So when you take a look at where you're spending your money right now, and make sure that you do that, the sooner that you do that, the better, because you want to start shifting, you want to start aligning yourself with your vision and with your priority and what's really your priority and value. But when you start looking at your expenses, you want to find the gap. That's the next thing that you want to find. You want to find that, okay, so if my money or my vision and my purchase of value, yeah, when I look at my expenses, that is not aligned, then you want to find out where is the gap, where is that your money is going that is not aligned with your vision, your priorities, and your values. And again, I'll suggest that the sooner that you do that, the better. So look at the past 6 months. We're almost at the end of the half year. Like June 30th is the if it will be 6 months. So look at your bank accounts, look at your investment, look where you have been putting your money, what you've been going through, and then sit down and meditate or journal about what is your dream, what is your happy day, like where do you see like your perfect day, what is your perfect day, and what does that look like. If you want, go to a place where you feel happy, that makes you feel abundance, go to a place and then bring that journal with you and write down, like mine was like 11 pages, write down how your perfect day look like, and where would you be on that perfect day. Are you in the house that you built? Are you having an amazing relationship with your partner? Your kids, like they are like, what is your perfect day? What are you doing with them? What are you doing on that day? Are you hustling and bustling and in that energy of like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that? Or are you in the energy, oh, today I get to do this instead of I have to do this? So like those little shifts, that's what turn us into that feminine side, right? That instead of like being chasing and having like a huge to-do list, we get to like feel in our feminine and say, this is what I'm attracting, this is what I'm doing today. So how did that look like to you? If that perfect day and your vision align today with what you're doing, is your priorities and values aligned with what you're doing on a daily basis? And when you ask yourself that, and you see, like, and you're seeing that it is not, then that's the moment to realize, and please don't go into freeze, fight, or flight. Don't go into guilt or like shoulda, coulda, woulda. Again, we don't want to think about like the past. We want to forgive ourselves, and we want to shift our emotions to the possibilities. We want to shift and stop focusing on our current circumstances and focus on the possibilities. And that's what's going to create that feminine energy. That's what's going to create that abundant mindset that is going to free you in order to attract more into your life, and it's going to help you to start releasing the things that are no longer serving you, the things that are not longer helping you, and that are going to allow you to start living that life that you deserve, that life that you dream of, that you think now is a distant dream, but is actually closer than what you even could imagine if you do these little steps. So this is it for today. Tomorrow is day 2 of the Feminine CFO online show. Again, if you haven't signed up for the Feminine CFO, make sure that you do. We have 3 amazing speakers. Again, we have more speakers the whole week, but we have another 3 tomorrow. And we also have a special guest joining us tomorrow in the live stream. So if you want to participate, rub shoulder, ask questions, direct questions to the speakers that are going to be doing the live stream, make sure to join us on the VIP. And the VIP upgrade not just allow you to do that. There's other things. One thing that you will get with the VIP upgrade is you will be able to join us at the Empower Her retreat. And this is a $2,500 value on the Empower Her retreat, and you're only getting it for $47 with your VIP upgrade. So again, make sure to take advantage of that. And any questions, please feel free to put it in the comments. I'll be reviewing them a little bit later. So you guys have a great day. Again, Sarah Xavier, creator and founder of Finance Babe, and your Feminine CFO's host. Have a good day. Bye bye, Jane. Bye bye, Robin. Thank you so much. Bye bye.